Welcome to my channel. When you think of Argentina, you think of pure football magic. The roaring stadiums, the iconic blue and white stripes, and names like Maradona and Messi echoing through history. It looks like a dream. But tonight, we are turning off the stadium lights. Behind the beautiful goals lies a dark, dangerous reality that rules the nation. Today, we expose the secret shadow side of Argentina's football obsession. Let's dive in. The Cult of La Nuestra and the Stadium Gods. In Argentina, football is not a weekend hobby. It is the oxygen of the country. It is a secular religion where the stadium is the cathedral, the chants are the hymns, and the players are immortal gods. To understand how a sport took over an entire society, we have to look back at the concept of La Nuestra, our way. This is the unique poetic style of dribbling born in the crowded potreros, the muddy vacant lots of Buenos Aires. It was creative, rebellious, and completely free. But what happens when a beautiful cultural identity turns into an unbreakable psychological dependency? For decades, Argentina has faced brutal economic crises, hyperinflation, and political chaos. When the economy crashes and your money becomes worthless, what have you got left? You have the club. You have the 90 minutes on Sunday. The stadium became the only place where the working class felt powerful, visible, and alive. This intense emotional coping mechanism created an obsession so deep that losing a match feels like a national tragedy, and winning becomes a matter of life and death. This extreme emotional vulnerability laid the perfect foundation for something far more dangerous to take root in the shadows. The passion was pure, but where there is pure, unregulated human passion, wolves will always come to feed. The stage was set for the rise of a mafia disguised as fans. The Barras Bravas, the Shadow Mafia. Step into the shadows of the stadiums and you will meet the Barras Bravas. On the surface, they look like ultra fans, the ones leading the chants, waving the giant flags and banging the drums. But make no mistake, they are not just fans. They are highly organized, ruthless criminal syndicates that operate with military precision. The Barras Bravas control everything inside and outside the stadium. If you want to park your car near the stadium on match day, you have to pay them an illegal parking fee known as the trapitos. If you refuse, your car gets destroyed, or worse, you get beaten. They control the black market ticket sales, the food stalls, the merchandising, and even the sale of illegal drugs inside the stands. They generate millions of dollars every year, completely tax-free and completely illegal. But their power goes way beyond stadium walls. They are hired muscle. They enforce territory. To maintain this multi-million-dollar empire, the internal factions of the same Barra will go to war with each other. Brutal machete fights, drive-by shootings, and stabbings in broad daylight are common. Over 300 people have been murdered in Argentina due to football-related violence. The terraces of the stadiums are stained with blood, not from rival fans, but from internal wars for greed and power. They are a mafia protected by the very crest they claim to love. The dangerous alliance, football and politics. How does a stadium mafia survive in a modern democracy? The answer is simple. They are protected from the very top. In Argentina, the toxic alliance between football, politics, and the judiciary is an open secret. Politicians need votes, and they need control of the streets. The Barras Bravas provide exactly that. During election seasons, you'll see the Barras hanging political banners in the stadiums, organizing political rallies, and intimidation tactics against political rivals. In return for this street-level power, politicians give them immunity. When a high-ranking Barra member gets arrested for violent assault or extortion, a mysterious phone call from a politician or a judge often gets them released within hours. Club presidents are trapped in this cycle too. To win a club election, you need the backing of the Barras. If a club president tries to fight them, they receive death threats at their homes, their families are targeted, and the team's matches are violently disrupted until the president resigns. Football is the ultimate political weapon in Argentina. It controls the mood of the public. A winning streak can make a corrupt governor look like a hero, while a losing streak can spark actual riots in the streets. The game is rigged, and the ball is thoroughly dirty. The weaponization of the World Cup. To truly see how far the dark reality goes, we must travel back to 1978. Argentina hosted the FIFA World Cup under a brutal military dictatorship led by General Jorge Videla. This was the ultimate and most horrifying weaponization of the sport. While the world was cheering for Mario Kempes scoring goals in the stadium, less than a mile away at the ESMA Navy School, the regime was torturing and murdering political dissidents. Over 30,000 people disappeared during this dark era. The regime used the roaring crowds and the confetti in the stadiums to literally drown out the screams of the tortured. They used the national pride of winning the 1978 World Cup as a massive propaganda smokescreen to hide their crimes against humanity from the international community. Fast forward to the modern era. Even during the historic 2022 World Cup victory in Qatar, politicians desperately tried to use Lionel Messi's glory to distract the public from a catastrophic 100% inflation rate. The government wanted the historic street celebrations to make people forget that they couldn't afford groceries the next morning. In Argentina, football is the ultimate distraction tool, a modern-day Roman circus where the gladiator's victory is used to cover up the crumbling empire. The human cost, ghost stadiums, and broken dreams. The tragic consequence of this absolute madness is paid by the innocent people, the true fans, and the young players. Because of the uncontrollable violence, away fans have been completely banned from Argentine football stadiums for years. Think about that, a football match with only home fans, because letting rival human beings sit in the same arena is considered too deadly. The beautiful, shared carnival of football has been broken. Then there are the children. Every young boy in the villas, the slums of Argentina, dreams of being the next Diego Maradona or Lionel Messi. It is seen as the only escape route out of systemic poverty, crime, and starvation. Unscrupulous football agents and corrupt youth scouts exploit this desperate hope. They sign young boys to predatory contracts, taking away their childhoods, pushing their bodies to the breaking point. And what happens to the 99% of kids who don't make it to Europe? They are chewed up and spat out by the system. With no proper education and their football dreams shattered, many fall straight into depression, drug addiction, or get recruited into the Barras Bravas as foot soldiers. The beautiful game promises salvation, but for the vast majority of Argentine youth, it delivers a lifetime of heartbreak and exploitation. The unbreakable cycle. So where does this leave Argentina? The obsession has become a self-sustaining monster. Everyone knows the system is broken. The journalists know it, the police know it, the fans know it, and the government knows it. But nobody stops it because everyone is making money, gaining power, or too terrified to speak out. When Argentina won the World Cup in 2022, 5 million people flooded the streets of Buenos Aires. It was the largest public gathering in human history. It showed the world the beautiful, unmatched spirit of the Argentine people. But when the party ended, the trash was cleaned up, and the stars flew back to their luxury lives in Europe. The dark reality was still waiting right there. The inflation was still high, the barras still ruled the neighborhoods, and the politicians kept playing their games. Football in Argentina is a beautiful drug. It cures the pain for 90 minutes, but it leaves the patient dying in the long run. It is a tragedy wrapped in a celebration, a beautiful game chained to a dark reality. Can Argentina ever separate the magic of the ball from the malice of the mafia? Only time will tell. But until then, the drums will keep beating, the chants will keep roaring, and the shadow will keep growing. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more hidden truths behind the things we love, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe.